Welcome or welcome back to WatchAdvisor on YouTube. It's Alexander speaking, your host, and on your screen you see the Seamaster Aqua Terra 150m 38mm edition. And in this video we will present you these watches, the 5 watches you see on your screen, in perfect conditions. What I mean with perfect conditions is that our camera, our editing is perfectly calibrated to help you guys to take the right decision which color to choose in between from left to right. Atlantic blue, bay green, sandstone, saffron and terracotta. So if you are interested in buying this Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra 150m 38mm and you have not yet been able to get it into your hands, to get it on your wrist, and you are wondering how do these colors do really look, please do not trust any sources that aren't calibrated. Don't even trust the website of Omega. I will show you the watches in bright light from outside but filmed inside. I will show these watches on my wrist in bright sun. I will bring them into my pool and I will film them on my wrist in shady conditions. So please, if you are interested, check out this video, take your time, watch it, and I will be happy, more than happy, to show you these watches as they really look, as they really look. I have to repeat that. I have seen so many pictures and so many videos, and since I do now have the opportunity, I can tell you lots of what you have seen before isn't the right color. So trust WatchAdvisor. We do what we do always in 100% perfection.
Don't forget to subscribe and to hit the bell to get our latest notifications.
On your screen you see the saffron dial of the Seamaster Aqua Terra 150m 38mm. Yes, that's the diameter of this Omega. The thickness of this case, 12.26mm. And the so-called lug-to-lug distance. That's the distance from one lug end to the other lug end, or if you want to put it that way, the length of the entire watch. It is 45.1mm. If you're keen to know how heavy such a watch is, these watches have been configured from Omega for this video for my wrist size. My wrist size is 17 centimeter or 6.7 inches, and the entire weight of the watch, as you see it on your screen here, with the links exactly adjusted to my wrist size, is 125 grams. Depending on your wrist size, a little bit more or less weight on your wrist. We are talking about the saffron dial because I was choosing it to show you the watch. I want to make it clear, all these watches are identical watches. There are no technical differences. The only difference is, of course, the dial. Bay green, the Seamaster Aqua Terra 150m. Yes, you may guess, the watch is of course waterproof, 150 meters. I just want to mention this to be on the safe side. As you see, I have been unscrewing the screw down crown. It is in its second position. And you see hacking seconds, the central second hand has stopped. This watch has a polished bezel, clearly to see, and has a symmetrical polished case body. This is terracotta, and now let me continue. So the sapphire crystal has an anti-reflective treatment on both sides. This is how it should be. The applied elements you see on the wonderful terracotta dial. The hour markers, rhodium-plated and diamond brushed indexes filled with white superluminova blue emission. The Omega logo is also rhodium-plated and diamond brushed. I have been, of course, unscrewing here the crown. You see hacking seconds once again, just to mention this. It's a fully functional watch, of course, but I've been unscrewing the crown. There's a little thing I want to mention here, and this is something that might be interesting for you. The indexes on the 38mm models, this is the ones I am showing you, are rhodium-plated hands and indexes. And if you are choosing the 34mm versions, then the indexes and hands will be 18 karat white gold. So the 38mm version, as you see it here, to have rhodium plated hands and indexes. I just repeat this once again: 38mm rhodium plated, 34mm, they would be gold hand. There would be gold hands, or there are in fact, I don't have them, so they would be on your screen, but there are in fact gold hands and gold indexes on the 34mm editions. Atlantic blue actually on your screen. Let me talk about the hands. Our minute hands are faceted, rhodium plated with diamond polished sides and with a brushed top, and they feature white superluminova with a blue emission. The central second hand, as you see here, I've been unscrewing the crown so the watch is stopped. The central second hand is faceted, rhodium plated, diamond polished sides with a brushed top, so the same as the hour and the minute hand, and features as well white superluminova in its tip here, and it will have a blue emission as well. This is Sandstone, and I still need to finish my little presentation of the dial. The Seamaster Co-Axial Master Chronometer, Minute Track and Swissmade are transferred either in silver or in gray color. And also something I'd like to mention, you have already seen this since I have been presenting you all the colors now. The date disc of the date indication is always white, so there are no matching colors in this case. This might be a little bit of an aesthetical disadvantage, but in terms of readability, it is really perfect since there's huge contrast with the black numbers on a white surface. So perfect readability of the date on all these Seamaster Aqua Terra 150m models. There is a slightly little bit difference in the treatment of the dials. So the dials Atlantic blue, bay green, sandstone and saffron are PVD coated, and the terracotta dial is CVD treated. That's a little bit of a difference, but end of the day, yes, they're all beautiful, and it's a matter of taste. Which one is your favorite? And I do ask you, as always, please use the comment section and tell me your favorite. Which one would be the one you would choose? I'm using the Atlantic blue version to show you the new bracelet with redesigned links and an improved integration. It features polished central links and brushed external links. Yes, this bracelet is tapering, so we do have 19mm in between the lugs, and in the folding clasp it tapers down to 16mm, so 19 to 16. It's a butterfly folding clasp with two push pieces you open up. This is a brushed element, and you have engraved the Omega logo and the word Omega. So you push on both push pieces and then you open up. With gloves it's a little bit difficult, so there we go. You really need to press. And then it opens up. It is a butterfly folding clasp. And yeah, I've been reading lots of comments since we have been briefly presenting you these watches in a short video already. Yes, critics coming that there is no micro length adjustment. It is true, there is none. So the only possibility really to adjust the length of the bracelet is by adding or taking off one of these elements, one of these links. You can do this on both sides, so it will stay symmetrical and the folding clasp always sits in the middle. Yes, I have to really say, is a little bit of a disadvantage. A micro length adjustment would have been gorgeous to have it here, to make some small adjustments if it is hot and cold, etc. Depending also on the way how you want the watch to sit on your wrist, but unfortunately there are none. Also something, all the watches you see in this video are not new. They belong to Omega. They are part of a traveling collection, so there might be some scratches. Yeah, the watches have gone through several hands, have been shown to the trades, to retailers, or either to customers already. So these are watches that are also clearly signed with not for sale. So we'll also go back to Omega once they toured around. This is a screw-in case back, polished and brushed with a wave-edged design engraved, as you can see, with the word Aqua Terra and the water resistance. It has a flat sapphire crystal that has an anti-reflective treatment on one side. The movement you see on your screen now, it is clearly visible, an automatic movement. You can discover the rotor on the lower side of the movement. So this is the automatic rotor. It is the Omega automatic Calibre 8800, 25,200 semi-oscillations of the balance wheel. That's 3.5 Hertz. It is a Co-Axial escapement with 3 levels. That's a escapement that you will only find in Omega watches. Of course, it features a silicone hairspring, and the entire watch, as all Omega watches, is certified as a master chronometer, and the entire watch is tested in magnetic fields up to 15,000 Gauss. Tests are independently guaranteed by METAS, the Swiss Institute of Metrology. Yes, we have Geneva waves in arabesques, bridges and rotor with polished bevels, rhodium-plated, red, varnished, and graving. And we do have blackened screws, a blackened barrel, and, as always, a blackened balance wheel. I'm sure that there are several specialists among you watching this video, and you're asking yourself, is this a so-called Naiad lock case back? No, it is not. And you can clearly see that what is engraved on the case back is now completely positioned differently. I will now take another version of it, and you can again discover that the wording, the engravements on the case back are again different. So it is not a Naiad lock. One last try, Sandstone. And you will see, yeah, here it is perfectly aligned. Here you have Aqua Terra on top, and yes, the information about 150 meters or 500 feet is here. Now it's more or less perfectly aligned, but this is a coincidence and is not, because it should be perfectly aligned on all of these watches, but this will only be the case if it will be an Naiad lock, and it is clearly not. Now it is time to discover all the other numbers of the date disc. I always set the watches with the 8th, so lucky number. It is a part of our videos. All the date discs are always set to the 8th. Now it's time to show you the other numbers. You have to unscrew the crown. I said it already, is a screw down crown. You go in its first position. Now I was too far. You see, I stopped the watch, so this is good. So I can again show you hacking seconds. Of course, once you go in the second position. With gloves, it's always a little bit difficult to manipulate those watches, but I think I've done it. Yes. Let me just let the Mr. Second Hand pass over the date disc, and now please watch closely. I have already been touching it, so it's not misaligned. Please, if you are recognizing this, I have been already touching it. So, but now let me show you. So quickly run you through. double digit, how they look like, and you can quickly discover all the other numbers. And I mentioned it before, all the date discs are white. That might be aesthetically a disadvantage, it might, but in my humble opinion it is good that they made all these date discs in white with black markings, so the readability of the date disc is excellent, I have to say. And let me come back now to the 30th, 31st, and now watch the difference in size. What you are going to see, of course, the single digit are much bigger. Oh, I did it in almost 1 minute, my goodness. Now, Mr. Central Secondhand is always disturbing our video. Goodbye, come on, move on. Okay, I will now set the watch to the 7th. I will pull out the crown in the 2nd position, and you just saw that the Central Secondhand stopped. And the next thing you will discover together is the date change happening exactly at midnight. I have not been trying this before, so we will discover together what happens. That's noon, otherwise the date disc would have already been moving on. I will now turning it to 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and now watch closely. We will discover together what happens. I will smoothly continue to run, yeah, 10 to 12, a little bit of a movement, but yep, instantaneous change exactly at midnight, and this is how it should be. So there is a slight move from 10 to 5 to 12, but at 12 o'clock, click, it really jumps, the date disc jumps, and you get the indicated the next day. Now comes the fun part of this video, where you will be able to discover the color of the different dials in bright sunlight, in shade, and also in my pool. And I can't wait to get in there because it's an absolutely hot and humid day today. So I'm really looking forward to get into my pool with the Seamaster Aqua Terra. The new Seamaster Aqua Terra with the Atlantic blue dial, filmed in bright sunlight. It is the time you see on your screen is the actual time. It's end of July, and as I said it before, clear blue skies, bright sun, and this is how the watch looks like on my 17cm wrist, 6.7 inches. That's how it looks like with the new bracelet, the new Omega bracelet with polished and brushed elements. And yeah, sunburst, you see here, if I start playing with the watch in the sun, you can see that sunburst effect. And yeah, this is how that watch looks like in bright sun. Let me zoom in a little bit so we can closer see the color. And once again, I have to say, I have been recalibrating the camera just before filming these. Before starting filming here, the camera is completely recalibrated. It is recalibrated for the scenario here on my terrace. It is recalibrated then for the pool, and it is also recalibrated, of course, for the indoor filming I will do to show you the dial in less bright sun conditions. So this is how it looks like. Perfectly sits on the wrist. For my humble taste or my humble opinion, it would be a little bit too small, but okay, I hear some of you saying, Alexander, this is the best size for your wrist. Might be, yes, it's a very individual thing. You have to consider the size is always very individual. From aqua to terra, or from water to land, this now is bay green, color bay green, dial color bay green. Again, you see the sunburst effect when I'm turning the watch or the camera in that bright sunlight. Yes, that's the same. Nothing changes with the bracelet. same, but I wanted to show it to you again. Give me also the possibility to show it from this angle. That's bay green. That's a nice green, but don't expect any shiny, funky green. That's a very decent, very noble green in my humble opinion, and a very beautiful green. It's a color you either like or dislike. And if you are into the very trendy color of green that is very popular in the moment, I think this is a watch that could very much please you, because it is a green you won't find anywhere else so quickly again, because it's a very particular green, and Omega did a really good job here. That transition from aqua to terra, or from water to land, they couldn't have done it better in my, they do a good job. And look, nice. And also watch, the readability of those watches is good, huh? And date disc, I said it before, is always white. So you will always have a perfect readability of the date. And I'm playing around as much as I can, so you have the chance to discover the Seamaster on my, once again, 17cm, 6.7 inches wrist. Bay green. It's a very nice green, I have to say. Nothing you will encounter elsewhere, that's for sure. So that's not a copy of anything. And anyhow, I have to quickly say that all those talking about, Omega doing this and that with colored dial. Everybody in the industry has colored dials, and colorful, bright, vibrant, less vibrant colors dial do exist since the 1930s, and no one copied anyone. Neither Rolex, Omega, or Omega, Rolex, or backward, forward. Everybody has colorful dials because people want to buy them, and so why not offering them? That's a very simple and clear thing. You are an entrepreneur, you have customers wanting to buy a dial, why not offering them? Okay, your comments are welcome. We clearly arrived on land. This is Sandstone you're seeing now on your screen. Very nice as well if you are more into a very neutral color, a color that is not trendy at all. I would say silver is always a good guess if you're thinking about buying a watch and keep it for many years, and trends may come and pass by, and silver will always be a nice choice. If you are more on the conservative side, this could be yours. Might be it could be a little bit difficult, more difficult to read the time, because the contrast of the dial is not as good as on the other dials. This is clearly due to the effect that everything is silver. The hands, the indexes, and the dial itself. But still readability is good. There is enough contrast, of course, but it is probably not the dial that offers the best readability of those I'm showing you. And once again, to mention and to make that clear, the date disc white, so no changes here. And I also want to quickly show you the bracelet once again. Thank you very much to the Swatch Group headquarters here in Vienna to resize those watches for me to my 17cm, 6.7 inches wrist, so I can show you these watches perfectly on this occasion here in the video. So what do you think? Comments? Which one is your favorite so far? And I will continue. We have arrived on land. Sandstone was the one you just saw. Now comes a Saffron. I've been reading your comments in the short video we already posted some months ago, that this is a color you probably like very much. And I have to admit, this is a color that really has something. That's nice, that's something unexpected, that's saffron. It's not yellow, it's not orange, it's not red, it's something in between. And I have to admit, this could probably be, unless I'm a big fan of blue, and those who are watching my or our videos frequently know that I'm a big fan of blue, but this saffron could be a choice also for me. I very much like it. It is a very vivid color. It is, nice, but it's not too vivid, It's not showing off. It is still, from aqua to terra, perfectly in line with the idea Omega had to really find colors that reflect the fact that the watch is called Aqua Terra. water and land, and that Omega tried to find the appropriate colors that would represent that transition from water to land. Saffron, what do you say? Is it still as good as you thought it is when you saw our first video, or when you have or when you discovered the watch in other videos or on websites? Is it, yeah, I can tell you we have been perfectly, really perfectly calibrating this camera, and Jorge, when he's editing the video, is perfectly, of course, respecting this calibration, and we will reproduce as good as we can the real color of this saffron dial. Here it is once again. Yep. Saffron Terra in Aqua, once again. Terra in Aqua. Now comes Terracotta. Ragazzi, adesso vedete, no, questo è Saffron, ma la prossimo orologio sarà il Terracotta. La Terracotta. Terracotta, as the Italians say. So now I'm really keen to get your opinion about terracotta. What do you think about this color? What do you think? Is it a color you like? Look, terracotta. Beautiful, bellissimo terracotta su questo Omega Seamaster. Yup. Yeah. Tell me what you think about terracotta. Yeah. And once again, this is how the watch would look like on your wrist. It is something you wouldn't expect on a watch, and a very particular color, but I would say it is very close to the typical color of terracotta. I do pronounce it in Italian, because terracotta or any other pronunciations is probably not the way one should pronounce terracotta. Softly pronounced terracotta. There it is, ragazzi. È bello? Sì? No? Are you sure? Yes? No? What do you think? Do you like it? 17 centimeters, the wrist size you are seeing here in that video, 6.7 inches, and once again, camera, editing, everything is perfectly calibrated to give you the, really, we are trying to reproduce that colors, these colors of these watches as good as we can. As perfect as we can, I have to say. Comments, please. Use the comment sections. I'm back with Saffron in bright sun, and this is the end of the video. Yes, yes, yes. I've been choosing my favorite of these new Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra 150m watches. 5 different colored dials you can choose of. I've been showing you probably every possible aspect, and I do hope that this video helps you to make up your decision if you are interested in buying the watch. And yeah, if you have any other questions, please, use the comment sections. Let me know. If I can answer them, I will. Otherwise, I will pass them on, of course, to Greg Kisling, the new Vice President Product of Omega. He has just been announced to become, or is and has been announced as the next Vice President, or he is Vice President now, and he will, of course, answer you. So, thanks for watching, and have a nice and beautiful summer. Enjoy your holidays, and yes, don't forget that there is WatchAdvisor on YouTube. When you're bored, when you have some time, when you are, when you can't await our next video, please come back as soon as you can, as often as you can, to our channel. And bye bye, and thanks for watching.